Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And today is the blessed day when we are going to get the series finale of Stranger Things. It would be later tonight. We are recording this episode in the morning, so no, we haven't seen the episode yet. No, we haven't read any spoilers yet, but we're going to talk about the director, or one of the directors, Shawn Levy, coming out and saying, hey, this is going to be an absolute masterpiece. It's going to tie everything up.
I hope he's right.
I hope he's right.
It started out strong at the end of part one, volume 1, and it was like, okay, yes, here we go. Let's go. And then by the end of volume 2, we're just like, what the hell? What happened to the show? And then they have 2 hours to make it a masterpiece. And they're starting out, like you had the drawing of the horse last time, that the meme.
The meme of the horse.
And we're starting out the stick figure leg, and we need to turn it back into the full-fledged, horse.
We need a horse head here.
Yeah, we need a good one. So I'm hoping that he's telling the truth. I sincerely, people are like, you hate everything. It's like, no. We like Stranger Things quite a bit. I'm sincerely hoping that they stick the landing. I really, really hope they do. I have strong doubts, but I really hope they do.
I have strong doubts based on the cast reactions. Now, they were asking Millie Bobby Brown. Obviously, they're not allowed to say anything. They're not. In fact, they had the kid that played Derek was on, I think it was Jimmy Fallon. And he's like, yeah, I can't say anything about the show because I'll get sued. That's a smart kid. But like Millie Bobby Brown, they were kind of asking her like, hey, how'd you feel about, Eleven's resolution at the end? And she just kind of like had this grimace on her face. Like either I can't answer it or you're not going to like it, but I can't tell you that.
Well, I saw one like with her and Noah Stop, and she's trying to answer, and he's making this face, and I was like, oh no. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the problem. There are only 2 hours left, and they've already dropped the ball. I mean, we had a whole second half of this season that they could have used for build-up if it was going to be a masterpiece, and I just don't. I don't see how they're going to do it.
That's when you need to, hit the gas. It was the second half, and they did it. And like immediately, Will's agency, Will's going to kick ass. Yeah, Will finally has a job, and he has got like something other than being a victim. And then immediately they snap that, like, oh nope, you can't. I mean, obviously couldn't defeat the fact on his own, obviously.
Yeah.
But they we snapped that, and I was like, oh come on. Then 10 minutes of Max and Holly talking about hugging and crying and not leaving.
It's weird because people are going back a couple of years and the Duffer Brothers are like, oh yeah, we're not going to introduce any new characters because we really need to focus on the core characters from season 1. And it's like, well, you've got Derek, and I like Derek. I like Derek quite a bit. Derek is a cool kid. But
dipshit Derek is better than delightful Derek. Just gonna say it.
Dipshit Derek, but he's a new character. And Holly, for all intents and purposes, is a new character because she had like hardly any screen time. It was different actresses played her. And she's basically, this is the first time she's been a fleshed out character, and she's the main character. And that's a huge problem. Like, you're wrapping this series up. We've got like 40,000 people in the cast. It's so weird. Like, you look at the seasons, look at the opening credits compared to the opening credits now. And it was like, oh yeah, we got, Winona Ryder and David Harbour, whatever. Now it's like 50 million freaking names, on the opening credits, and all those people got sidelined for Holly.
Yeah, I just think it was just so slow. Like, that's my thing, is that's when you need to give it gas, and they didn't. So we've already took a train that should be going full speed. It's got to jump that ravine, right? Except now you slowed it down. So we're hoping it can get enough speed again to make the jump. But I'm really worried it's just going to careen off the edge and go down into the valley below. And
we'll definitely do a review. It'll probably come tomorrow morning, I'm guessing, because we're going to be watching it late. So anyway, let's walk it back a little bit. This is even Bored Panda. So this isn't just like, oh, the right-wing chuds, they're mad.
Well, they keep trying to spin it that way, but yeah.
I think the studio is, but so far, universally, it seems like fans on all sides are like, hey, this is not what we wanted. This is Game of Thrones. This is not good. So they said, yeah, Stranger Things fans were not happy with the length and timing of Will Byers coming out scene. That is the thing. Like, okay, Will's gay. Whatever, right? Whatever. That's a conversation you have, but you don't wait until the next to last episode and then to turn it into some big group therapy session when the world is going to burn. Right? It's like, what are you
even
doing?
If their logic was like what I think it is, well, he has got to take that power from Vecna. It just didn't fit the way they did it, and I feel bad because you could tell that he put a lot of effort into it. And stuff. You could tell. And they said it was like 12 hours one day and reshoots for 12 hours. So that's a lot of emotional drain.
That's a lot of time. So yeah, they talk. Everybody's seen this clip, and there are some AI parodies out there which are wrong but funny. But they said critics argue the timing of Will's speech didn't make sense. It didn't. It interrupted the urgency of the group's impending final battle against the series' antagonist, Vecna. Critics also questioned Will's explanation of his fear of coming out. It could be weaponized against him, despite Vecna never explicitly referencing any fear in any of his earlier appearances. One viewer wrote on X, by the way, the Will coming out scene may be the worst in the entirety of Stranger Things, making that the most important plot point for the penultimate episode of the show is a waste. It was super cringy, a hard watch. A lot of people in the comments, a lot of gay folks in the comments of our previous videos were like, yeah, this ain't it, man. Like, you can handle this. You can handle it so much better. And literally, they're like, okay, how are we going to save the world? Okay, and they're coming up with a plan. It's like, no. Let's spend more time talking about the fact that Will likes dick than we do talking about... They spent more time on his coming out scene than they spent on a plan to save the world.
That's actually true. They spent more time on basically Holly and Max having a whole convo while their portals are open than they did on saving the world. And then it's always like someone pointed out, it's always like they have to use props to explain it. It's always like, here, it's like this and this. And then when they don't get it, they're like, okay, let me show you another way. And then it's like that. And then they're like, that'll work, and it's actually true. But yeah, I don't know.
Girl boss Nancy, they said, yeah, she's a reporter and she can easily overpower trained military personnel.
I know. I that is true. Like, where did she learn how to shoot? I mean, you could grow up shooting.
Hopper. I that's the only explanation I would accept is, she's been working on Hopper's been working with her. But
I don't think so, because she wasn't in hiding and they were. Well,
okay. So there we go. I don't know. She read a book. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, the scene did ruin everything. This should, if you're gonna do this needed to be a last season thing before the world was burning. Like, I could see them having something like this. One, make it about 25% of the length, and two, the reaction, the whole group hug thing is basically what every current year person wants, that affirmation. I'm like, this is not how it would have played out in the 80s. And honestly, I think Robin's was probably pretty realistic. Robin's like, oh, I'm gay. And Steve's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they were his friends, they would have known.
They would have known.
But, they had done it sooner in the, like you said, in part 5, the 5th season. It would have worked, I think, better. That freedom of telling everyone could have been why he locked his powers. That would have made a heck of a lot more sense. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. It's done. But what I'm worried about is moving forward as we're talking about this masterpiece for those last 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just very concerned because you're coming in from, that last part, and the last. Let's be honest here. That last part was not good.
Okay,
it was too slow. It was too ridiculous. Yeah, that whole thing with those two. Unproposal. Why was that necessary?
It's like promposal. So my thought here is, after The Last Jedi, you couldn't put the pieces back together very well, so you got The Rise of Skywalker, which made nobody happy. And I'm thinking this is what it's going to be. Now they're gonna pump it up and they're gonna say it's amazing because people are going to theaters to see it tonight. If you're going, congratulations. I guess theaters are doing pretty okay with it. But if they don't stick the landing on this show, that is going to be its legacy. It doesn't matter how good the first couple seasons were. People are going to remember how bad the ending was. It's kind of like, Game of Thrones. It's started out very, very strong, had a massive fan base, and then the last season just killed a lot of interest in it.
Well, to be clear yet again, I really hope they stick the landing. Like,
I hope they do.
I would be so sad if they don't. I'm also really sad to kill everybody or kill a bunch of people I don't want dead. But I hope they stick the landing because it's actually, to me, like, not sticking the landing is worse than killing characters I don't want dead. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they lived happily ever after, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted them all fucking die.
I don't want people to die. I'm just saying you can still do it both. I just don't want it to be like the last part.
Yeah, that's just I'm just afraid we're gonna get more of the last part.
I mean, people should be like at the end of the first volume. People are like, "Let's go!" Like they're like, "Holy shit, let's go!"
Yeah, I was actually kind of excited. Yeah,
yes, let's go. And then there's some parts that we're done. Okay, like the hospitals. I mean, the tanks of the dryer. Okay, that was a little lame, but like a lot of the hospital stuff was kind of cool. And then but that's like one part of men. It's like a tiny part of the whole thing, and it's kind of like, yeah, let's go. But then let's put the brakes on first, and now we got to ramp this thing at the end. And it's like, but you're not gonna have enough speed to do it because you put the brakes on.
Yeah.
And almost stopped the car completely before when you needed to speed up.
You stalled out.
Yeah, it's just I just hope, I really, really, really seriously hope it's great. I want it to be great so much. But then I'm afraid that people wanting it to be great after the last part are going to be disappointed even if it is good, because the last part was so disappointing that it's already, changed their perspective. You know what I mean? It's changed it's like it's made it in such a way that it's going to have to even be more awesome to overcome it. And if it isn't, is this going to be disappointing, even if it's good?
It's got to make you forget how bad the last couple episodes were, and I don't know if you can do that. I don't know, and I'm hoping that's where the budget went to, because I'm like, I am not seeing how this is the most expensive show on Netflix, because this season so far looks cheap as hell compared to previous seasons, and the only thing I can think is it went to the cast. Everybody's salaries went through the roof.
Well, I'd rather go to the cast and crew than,
Yeah, anyway, but I don't know. Anyway, this come from Collider. They did an interview with Shawn Levy, who also did Deadpool and Wolverine, I think. And he's the director and executive producer. He said, having watched the final version of the final episode of the final season of Stranger Things, it is a masterpiece. The Duffers have stuck to the landing. So 10 out of 10 perfect. And I know it sounds like I'm kind of promoting my own show, but this is really said with just deference and tremendous respect to Matt and Ross, who wrote and directed that final episode or finale episode. And it's so deeply satisfying and moving, I have to say, it wrecked me. So, they
great. That's not just it wrecked me. That means it's good. I don't know if I want to watch it because I'm afraid it's going to be super sad.
I don't even know if I mean, honestly, at this point, I am so checked out from it, because this is so far removed from the show that we started watching all those years ago that I'm like, you know what? You could kill everybody, and I don't care. I don't care. Like, I mean, Mike is barely in the show. Like, he was like the main character, one of the main characters in the first couple seasons, and he's barely in it. He just sits there and he does nothing. Like, I don't care.
He damsels for Will.
He damsels for Will. Yeah, it's the stupidest shit. Mike and Elle, have they had a scene together? Maybe one? I mean, come on. That was like
the Duffer Brothers. See it? The Duffer Brothers.
Wait. Oh, I thought you were. I'm like, have you been drinking? Where's this at?
You see it? The Duffer. No, the main big black bold. Shawn Levy and the Duffer Brothers want to stick landing.
Okay. The Duffer Brothers. Oh, the Brothers. Okay. Want to stick landing. So, okay. So they mentioned Game of Thrones ending too to them. So I think they know that things aren't great. And this is a comparison Levy understood completely. The series finales that have disappointed us over the years. This is something Matt, Ross, and I have talked about, because those are heartbreaks when you invest in characters and story for years of your life, and then they fail you at the end by being either tone deaf or what brought you to the moment, or disloyal to the spirit that made you love that storytelling. That's such a bitter disappointment that sticks with you. So please explain the last episode. The last couple episodes.
Well, I mean, to me, like that scene was kind of, but that one, the one that stuck out is like sore thumbs is that scene, the unproposal, and then when the Max and Holly, sit there for 20 minutes and discuss everything. Those things, they needed to be shorter, and they needed to be removed completely. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to stick it. Now, they said that they were doing the table read, and then they were halfway through the final episode. Everybody was crying and sobbing and stuff, and it's just like, so I hope it's good. I don't want to cry though. I hope it's good. I'm sorry. The mom in me doesn't want to see any of the kids supposedly bite it because, like,
Yeah. Well, I think at least one person has to bite it. Like somebody's gonna have to bite it. Anyway,
Okay, I think we'll kill Hopper or something. But
kill Hopper. At the
don't
very
kill Steve.
We thought Hopper was dead before, and we got over that pretty quick. You can't kill any main characters. People are like plot armor. It's ridiculous. Okay, so this goes on and on. Something that Duffers have always talked about with me is the lingo that you just use, sticking the landing. It's something they've been talking about for 10 years regarding every episode since season 1, every season finale, now the series finale. So it's something we talk about with movies that we love and hate. Sticking the landing is imperative. A lot of sins, here it's in bold, a lot of sins are forgotten and forgiven if you can stick the landing. I won't name the movies where this applies, where the middle is saggy and flawed, but boy, if they stick the landing, that's what you take with you. It was always a non-negotiable mandate, a self-given mandate to stick the landing. They're proud of their work, and GD should be this episode like, when was the series finale in movie theaters? Well, I think Doctor Who did the anniversary episodes or whatever in theaters, but
I don't remember. I didn't care about that one. So
what
I
a
didn't pay attention.
singular, beautiful, rare thing that is, because this series and that episode in particular really earned that right, and I think it deserves it.
I think it would have been better served to run it all at once, personally.
Yeah. So then they're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. It said, my schedule on Deadpool and Wolverine is what resulted in me not directing episode 3 and 4 like I always do. So suddenly I'm in that episode 6 slot, which wasn't great either, which was a lucky break for me because that episode, that script was awesome. Hard stuff, big, complicated stuff, but very satisfying. All right. So it was episode 7, the penultimate installment where Levy and the Duffers did something unprecedented. They shared directing duties. Is that what the hell happened? It just became clear. Okay, so basically, I think what they're trying to do at Collider is they're trying to get them to admit that episode 7 in particular was not good. It just became clear that, okay, they don't have time to do the whole thing. Okay. It's like, hey, okay. I don't have time to do the whole thing. So we decided, you know what? It's 10 years of this brotherhood. Well, if we share directing duties.
Oh, great. They directed the last one together?
I think we sort of, or no, I think the Duffers did the last one.
Oh.
We sort of each ended up directing half of that episode and sharing credit. And I'll be honest with you, there's something that feels good and right to us seeing our names on that directing card, because it's been very much this brotherhood of collaboration over a lot of years. And I'm thrilled that it worked out this way. Again, comically bad, the worst rated episode of the series, people not happy with it. So if he thinks that's good, then I'm.
But I think
I'm
that
really,
was episode. That was that 7.
That was 7. That was the one. Oh. Yeah, the bad.
I thought they said it was okay. He did 6,
yeah,
and that
he
was
did
7.
6 himself, but they shared directing duties on 7.
Oh boy.
So he also did the Adam Project. I thought that was actually pretty okay. Adam Project was okay. He did Free Guy, which I thought was pretty good.
I like Free Guy quite a bit.
So he does a lot with Ryan Reynolds, right? They should have Ryan Reynolds as Vecna.
No.
That was,
I mean, I think Ryan Reynolds, I like Ryan Reynolds enough, but I think that he's just like something that you can only take in small doses.
He only takes small doses of Ryan Reynolds. I'm sure he gets big doses of Ryan Reynolds because, he's in everything he does. One thing I will say, regardless, the guy that plays Vecna, Jamie Campbell Bower is his name.
I think so.
He's really good. Like he's phenomenally good. He's actually seems like a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, he seems like a sweetie.
And I'm telling you, if they're going to continue with DC under James Gunn, you hire that man to play the Joker. You hire that guy to play the Joker because he's got the build for it. He's got the facial structure for it, and he's got the acting chops for it. And I think he could pull off the Joker.
I agree. I think he could.
I'm just putting that out there. So regardless of what happens,
every time Kneon sees him, he says this. You don't understand.
He does. He looks like comic book Joker. I'm like, he actually throws some makeup on that guy. I think he would nail it. I think he would nail it. Like, you wouldn't need much makeup either because he's got the grin, the whole like.
He give Heath Ledger a run for his money, huh?
He would, and Heath Ledger has not been topped, but Heath Ledger did not. As much as I love The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger did not play comic book Joker. He played a character wearing Joker makeup that was more of an anarchist than the Joker, but. He was good. He was very good, but it wasn't this guy could pull off a comic book Joker. I'm just saying. So Levy said, when I offered to direct episodes 3 and 4 in season 1, which I only did so the brothers could go finish writing the season, it was problem solving. And now we're all in this together. He's doing Starfighter. Okay. That's kind of cool.
I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. he's saying it's a masterpiece, but apparently he didn't see any problems with episode 7 either. So I'm like, take it. Ryan Johnson won't admit that he broke Star Wars either.
I just hope that it's good. I want it to be good. I just don't know, even if it's amazing, if it's enough after the last one to save it. So let's just hope, keep your fingers crossed. We're only hours away. By the time you see this video, some people, I guess that some showings it's showing up in theaters way earlier than 8, which was supposed to be, everybody's supposed to see it at once, because people were worried that, like, what if people see it early? And they said, oh, no, they're not going to show it until 8 in theaters. But now it sounds like they're doing earlier showings.
Yeah.
So we'll probably start seeing spoilers here soon. So you might want to stay off the internet after watching this video.
This is funny though. Like you type in masterpiece Stranger Things, and everybody's trying to glom on to him calling it a masterpiece with other stuff like Netflix 4-season sci-fi masterpiece is better than Stranger Things. This one is, there's another one here. Wait. If you like Stranger Things, you'll love this 3-season Netflix sci-fi masterpiece with a 95% Rotten Tomatoes score. So,
yeah, I saw that too.
So yeah, everybody's trying to glom onto this. I mean, we'll see. This will either age well or age like milk. I don't know. I'm given where we're at with it, I'm thinking it's going to age like milk. But who knows? Who knows?
We'll see.
We're going to wrap it up.
Hopefully it's good. Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.